Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a great and wonderful day. Well, we have some more terrifying news. Now, I was debating on whether I should probably announce this over the weekend or not, and I probably should have, but I didn't. But what we're having now is a problem with terrorist attacks, and nothing has hit quite yet. But what I'm getting at is that the issues that we have is quite evident. The U.S., our officials have pretty much come out and said that they were going to be under a threat, under terrorist attacks, and this was happening on April 6th. So this was only 2 days ago, so it hasn't been really that far. But what I want to show you guys here is from Mario Nofal, and it says, U.S. officials warning of terrorist attacks in America. Intelligence officials are sounding the alarm over the increasing possibilities of attacks at mass gatherings such as sports stadiums, concert venues, or houses of worship in the United States, like concerts by ISIS and even lone wolves. The FBI is particularly concerned about potential copycat attacks, similar to the mass shooting at Russian and Concert Hall last month. This comes days before millions of people will be gathering to watch solar eclipse in dozens of cities across the U.S., and this is what they have to say. Now, I'm going to show the actual video here and full thing, and I'm going to comment on it, and including on some of the issues that's been happening in the U.S. that is leading to this problem. And I hate to break it to you guys, the far left, you Democrats, you people that voted for this, it's your fault this is actually happening.
Here in the U.S. from the FBI and Homeland Security, warning of potential threats to public gatherings, the timing of this and why they're concerned tonight. Here's our Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas with late reporting.
Tonight, FBI and Homeland Security officials are warning U.S. law enforcement about the potential for terror inspired by that deadly ISIS attack in Moscow targeting a concert hall. The concern, according to the bulletin, violence targeting mass gatherings such as sports stadiums, concert venues, or houses of worship in the United States. Law enforcement told to be on the lookout for any suspicious activity. The bulletin coming just days before millions will gather to watch the eclipse on Monday. Authorities say following the Moscow attack, ISIS and its supporters celebrated the assault and shared graphic and violent attack footage, the terror group calling for similar attacks in the United States. I'm told U.S. law enforcement is being urged to take this bulletin seriously. Sources say ISIS remains a very real threat.
You heard that, and it's mostly coming down to the situation here to where it's today. And in retrospect, I really should have said something earlier to kind of let you guys know what's going on, because I feel bad for people that actually happens. If you're going to go see the eclipse, if you're going to go see anything at all, then by all means, try to avoid it if at all possible, because I don't want you or your family or loved ones to be killed or seriously injured in a terrorist attack, because we have our Biden administration, our government, not putting these people behind bars, not preventing the border from being breached, and now we're in this state to where it can happen at any point in time. There's way too many illegal migrants and people that have come into this country, and this is where it leads. I mean, we had some people where there were some Chinese spies coming into our country. Obviously, we captured some ISIS people that wanted to commit harm to our country. And to think that there hasn't been more people to be released here, and they want to do actual big gatherings, is what's terrifying. And that is my problem here. There's a reason why I'm only going to be sending it pretty much after around 15 or so 20 minutes after the video that I posted here, which you'll see, because I want this to get out as soon as possible. I try to get this out quicker, but, be as it may, I just didn't have the time, and again, now that's why I'm getting paid here, it's really hard for me to do so. But, be as it may, it comes down to things like this that we have to start discussing. If this tragedy does happen, this is all Biden's fault. And some of the people that may be on the Democrat, maybe on the left, or what have you, you may not like this, and you're probably, if you are Democratic or whatever, and you subscribe to me, well, it's time for you to take some accountability. This would be your fault. I'm sorry. I may lose subscribers or whatever because of it, but that's just the reality. Because the thing of it matter is that when you voted for Biden, you voted for these policies that were happening. And here's an actual video of him saying and doing these things that pretty much proves my point correct here.
Is that, look, we should not be locking people up. We should be making sure we change the circumstance, as we did, why they would leave in the first place. And those who come seeking asylum, we should immediately have the capacity to absorb them, keep them safe until they can be heard.
A 15-second, if you could, if you wish to answer. Should someone who is here without documents, and that is his only offense, should that person be deported?
That person should not be the focus of deportation. We should fundamentally change the way we deal with things.
So yeah, again, Biden has outright said this before he was even nominated, and you guys probably cheered and voted for him. And now this is the consequence. When you don't document, or when you don't actually vet these people, you let people like this into your country, and then we have to suffer the consequences. Your family has to suffer the consequences. Think about it, your father, your friends, anybody that is anywhere related to you at all, people that would die in this type of terrorist attack is your fault because you voted for a man that said he was going to do this. And now you would have blood on your hands because you voted for a man that actively said this, you cheered and hurrahed for it, and now this is the consequence. This is the danger that we have. So now you have to live with the possibility that you voted for a man that wanted this to happen. He outright said it, you voted for him, and now this is the consequence. I hate to say it to you, but this is just the reality that you had to live with and the consequences of the actions that you chose. And we cannot stand by and let this happen. I don't want anybody to be killed. And by all means, I want to be proven wrong here and honestly not have anybody get hurt or killed at all during the eclipse. None at all, period. But it comes down to the reality is that I'm out of control. I can't do it. I can't stop it. And the only thing that I can do is put onto maybe let people wake up and see the reality of things that are happening in this country and deal with it. Because without that ability, then I don't know what to tell you. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, as always. Take care, be safe out there, and have a good one.